So we talked about no dots, okay? So later you can see on the 12, there is no dots on. The other thing that you may have noticed is the shoulder lengths are different lengths, okay? So in order for you to use this, whenever you draft something based on this block, you always have to check shoulder length, okay? In this case, what I did was I eased the back shoulder length into the front. You can see my dress form. So that's the 12 that I made from the block. So you can see, because there is no dots, you can see there is fullness right under the bust. If you want something fitted, you have to sew and create that dot. So for this block, it's meant for designs that are more roomy. That's why they forgo the dots, okay? And you can see, even though we gave extra length for the front, you can see visually, it's level. You need to do that. Otherwise, if I haven't given that extra 3C on the back, this thing's gonna come up and it's gonna be left hanging. Okay, so that's the thing about having to do an extra bit. All right. So you can see the shoulder, I've eased it in to fit. If you're gonna use the block, if you're going to follow the instructions to create the styles in the design in the magazine, they will always tell you to make sure that the front and back shoulders are the same or something like that. I kind of eased it in. If you look at more other blocks, it doesn't mean that your front shoulder has to be the same as the back. That's not true, okay? So it's not that this block has a problem, no. There are just many different ways to treat it. What happens is we have actually shoulder blades at the back. Okay, for simpler blocks, we ignore that. Okay, that's where your front and back shoulder seam or length is the same. But if you look at other blocks, you realize that sometimes they create a dot here. Okay, it's to accommodate shoulder blades. So when you look at the block, you also have to think about who you're trying to fit this for. So if you look at your client or you look at yourself, you have prominent shoulder blades. To ignore it and not give a dot would be a mistake. Okay, so you have to do something about it. So it could appear as a dot, or you could, like what I did, make a longer back shoulder length and ease into the front, and that creates a 3D shape for the back, and that will accommodate your shoulder blades. Okay, so that is something you want to take note when you use this block, because the shoulder length doesn't start the same for front and back. Okay, and it doesn't always have to. All right, so this is just a simple 12 that you can make for yourself once you draft that, and then you can just fit it. What I did was the back is actually open. I just pin it together. Okay, and then you can just put it on and see if there's any fit issues that you might want to change. Yeah, because in this, it's very straightforward because everything was formulated, but the formulas may or may not work for you. So you may have to tweak and use your own judgment from the 12 that you see. Or maybe the shoulder slope is too much, for example, and then you have to do corrections. So usually to fit your particular body size or shape, you have to make a 12, ideally, and then do amendments to it to make sure that that block is really your golden block. Okay, it's very rare where you can pick off the instructions off a book, create a block, make something out, and then it will fit you perfectly. Usually that's not the case unless you look like dress form. Okay, so that's